Three players who are set to have a breakout season. The first player is Jonathan Kuminga. Is there some bias here? Because you guys know, if you watch my page, I'm a big Kuminga fan. Probably a little bit, but I actually think he's set to have a breakout season regardless of my fandom. I said in my live stream talking about, the team's offseason moves and free agency that I thought part of the reason as to why the Warriors didn't really make many moves with their wing position is because, well, they already have two good wings in Kuminga and Wiggins, but more so that they wanted Kuminga to get more playing time. I think Kuminga is special, and a lot of other teams feel that way because they were trying to call about Kuminga and see if he was available before the draft and even in free agency when it opened. During the last, I'll say 2 months of the season, when obviously Wiggins was not there, Kuminga was like lights out. I don't know what he ended up averaging for those 2 months because obviously, it's his season average that's on, all the reference pages. But for a stretch of time, he was scoring 20 a game, shooting a ridiculous 60% from three, playing really good defense, playing very good offensively in terms of being a playmaker a bit. Obviously he wasn't a full-on playmaker the way Draymond was, but he was kind of doing some of the Draymond stuff. He was being a point forward. And I could see in the way that he was initiating the offense and the way he was playmaking was very similar to Draymond, which is why I'm if Kuminga can do that and then put together his offensive game, which I think he will, obviously, and then also his defense, which he obviously has a high ceiling for, Kuminga could be a superstar. I think he's going to have real big rotational minutes next season, along with Moses Moody. But we're talking about Kuminga here. I think he's going to get big minutes, especially because obviously Jordan Poole is gone, and that is a lot of production that they have to make up in terms of scoring, initiating the offense, those kind of things. And I don't know if you saw, but Draymond said that Kuminga would be completely unlocked by Chris Paul, because obviously there could be a Lob City happening over there. I said Tyrese Halliburton and Obi Toppin would be a Lob City 2.0. There may be Lob City with Kuminga and Chris Paul, the originator of Lob City. I think we will see the best out of Kuminga. I think his scoring average will go up a lot. His assist numbers probably not, because obviously now they have another playmaker on the team. So don't really look at his playmaking that much this season because it probably won't go up in terms of numbers. His rebounding will definitely go up. And his defense obviously won't show up on the box score unless it's a steal or a block. But his defensive instincts and tactics should be good as well. I think he's going to have a big year for the Warriors, and I'm sure they are hoping that as well. Player number 2 is Evan Mobley. Now, Evan Mobley took a big step forward in terms of his defense because I know he was a top 5 defensive candidate for the entire season. I don't remember if he ended up being top 3. Obviously, he wasn't top 2 because that was Jaren Jackson Jr. and Brook Lopez. He might have been top 3, but he was top 5. His defense was off the charts. So obviously, he was very good defensively. I'm sure he'll get better another year in the league, more experience. But that's not where I see the breakout happening. I see it on the offensive side of the ball. He averaged, I think, 16 a game, which is still good, obviously. But I think this year we're going to see the year of Evan Mobley being a 20 and 10 guy. And every night, or most nights at least. Because I just feel this is the year where his offense just takes off. Now, obviously Donovan Mitchell is there. So Donovan Mitchell will be their number 1 scoring option. But he definitely is number 2 in terms of scoring. Maybe it's Darius Garland, maybe number 2. But Darius Garland is also very willing to get others involved. He's not selfish. He will pass the ball plenty of times. We've seen Darius Garland have double-digit assists in many games. So, yes, he will score the ball a lot, and he's great at it. But he also is willing to pass. I just think Evan Mobley's offensive game is going to take a big step forward this season. And it's really going to unlock the Cavs in general. Because his potential and his ceiling is, so high. And if he's able to be a 20 and 10 guy, that really opens up the floor for the rest of the team. And it makes it so much easier on everybody else. And it can help them advance in the playoffs and stuff like that, which they obviously want to do. So look out for Evan Mobley on the offensive side of the ball. I expect to see pretty big things from him. And the last player who I think is going to have a breakout season is Onyeka Okongwu. Now, DeAndre Hunter could also be included in this because I think him and Onyeka will both have an uptick in terms of their production and stuff like that. But we're going to focus on Onyeka Okongwu today. And that is because with John Collins gone, he's going to have so much more room to grow, more touches on the ball. I think he'll get more playing time. I'm very high on him. I've always liked his game. I was saying during all the trade rumors that were going on with the Hawks that you do not trade him. He is not allowed to be traded because he's very talented. He has a lot of untapped potential. And I think although Clint Capella is still, a very good player, like he still affects the game very well, he's not even on the downward slope, but like Onyeka is on the rise, and Clint Capella is kind of like, he is what he is at this point. And like, that's not shade to him. Like, he's a very good player, but he kind of is what he is. And Onyeka is just going to get better and better. So why is that important? What does that mean? Well, I think it means that as he continues to grow, he's going to start taking over some of the Clint Capella minutes. He's not going to take away his role because he's still a good player, obviously Clint Capella, but he's going to start to outshine him in some ways because I think we're going to see, first of all, he's very athletic. We know this, he's very athletic. I think we're going to see more offensive production from him, just like Evan Mobley. Now, do I expect him to be 20 points per game like Evan Mobley? Not necessarily, because you got Trae Young and DeJounte Murray there, but I do expect his scoring average to go up because I believe he averaged like 9 points per game. So I expect him to go up to like 15 points per game, maybe something like that, and get like 10 boards a game and just a couple of blocks a game. Like, I expect to see a lot of more offensive production from him, and obviously his defense will get better and better as well. But I just think that Onyeka Okongwu is set for a breakout season, and no one's really talking about him, but you need to watch out for him. There's also a chance that now he's going to be in the starting lineup too, that John Collins is gone. Like, he is technically a 4 or 5, like he plays power forward center, and I guess when Clint Capella is out, he plays more of the 5 role, but he can play the 4 as well. Like, he's a very athletic player, like I said. So he could be in the starting lineup. He may still be coming off the bench. I'm not sure. But just look out for Onyeka Okongwu because I think his offensive production, his impact on the Hawks is really going to go up. And it's going to help the Hawks because he is someone where when he's scoring buckets, like, he makes it so much easier for everyone around him because it takes the pressure off Trae Young and stuff like that. Now, like I said, I think DeAndre Hunter's scoring average will also go up. And, his defensive usage and stuff like that. So, like, he will also have, a better season, like a more productive season as well. And he was finally healthy last season. So people finally saw what DeAndre Hunter could be because I think he's a very good player when he's healthy. It's just that his health obviously has been in question the last couple of years.